how do you convert a stranger who doesn't know you from anywhere into giving you, thousands and thousands of dollars, right? And besides, of course, figuring out what is it that you're going to sell, what problem they have, those are like fundamental stuff, right? For anyone here who hasn't kind of like started generating sales, really phase one is figure out the market. Market is, in my opinion, the most important thing, because you can start with product, but product doesn't really mean anything if the market doesn't really want what you want to sell. The next thing is figure out their pain, then figure out the product, then figure out preferably your delivery model, and then figure out acquisition. How are you gonna acquire their attention? How are you going to, get them to become leads, get them to book appointments, and then get them to buy from you, right? This, in my opinion, is just phase one of your venture, right? Sometimes it's good to not overthink this phase here because you can spend literally every day starting a new business and it doesn't mean anything. You can make a hypothesis on what is the market, what is the pain, what is the thing you're going to sell. In the meantime, maybe here you figure out the right messaging, right? But then after that, you're literally got to go straight to phase two is a part that a lot of people don't really understand because it's counterintuitive in the sense that, and I'll explain, phase two is really validating what a unique selling system, or there's some book that calls it an optimal like a sales or selling system, right? Have you guys read that book? The 0 to 100 million in no time or something like that. It's a pretty popular book in the business world. And really what this means is you have strangers and then you have what? Customers on the other end. Clients, depending if you're selling products or services, okay? And really what this is I like to look at it like this. How do you get someone to end up as a customer, right? From something like this. And I'm going to use a funnel. So it kind of like makes more sense. So you used to have, let's say, this would be like top of funnel. And you guys are going to understand where I'm getting at with this because I think this is really important. This is how marketing used to look like. You have top of funnel here, and then you have like middle of funnel. These are like, people now have become leads. Now they're maybe receiving your email. Maybe they're like watching a video from you. And then here we kind of like have bottom of funnel. These are people who already know what you sell. They already probably even know the price. They're just not yet to buy. Okay. Most people used to think that all you need is first get an ad or outreach, and then you get someone's attention. So you actually create like awareness, which means you're filling up your top of funnel. And then the next step would be like, okay, well, I'm going to get their information and then I'm going to maybe it's going to end up to an appointment. And then you assume that, okay, now you just got to close. For most services, especially high ticket businesses, this is kind of like what it looks like, or you would think that this is what it takes like, right? So you learn to market, you learn to convert, from lead into a booking and then from a booking to closing. Okay. But I don't know about you guys, but that's not how the world works today. Okay. And this morning, I've just been spending a lot of time even thinking about our own sales process and everything like that. Because for me, the way that I think is I test things in our own business and then I literally just deliver my discoveries to you guys so that we improve your own businesses. Okay. And I would say that in the last year, because of how much noise there are online, this is not enough. This is like, I would even say that this is like the bare minimum. So much so that if you just do the spend money on ads and then try to book a call with some people and then hope they get on a sales call or speed to lead and hope to get them on a sales call, it's going to work, but it's not, how can I say this? It's just not enough. There's not enough gravitational pull to get them to trust you with their money. Okay. This morning I was talking with AI, right? So you got to trust AI. And it came up with this new model, which is think of it as if your business needs to have, gravity. Okay. and look at it more, the closing, the part where you actually make money is like the core of your business, okay? Like the center of the earth, right? Which there is the most amount of gravity, whatever, okay? And your job is to think of the world like this. And then your job is stop looking at a funnel the same. I want to stop looking at a funnel the way I used to look at it, which is like in a linear fashion. It is actually not linear anymore. Because people don't just click an ad or reach out to your message and then go to your page, watch your VSL, and then convert. That's not really how it works. The way that it works is think of it like this. You need to have infinite amount of things, of assets, and each asset, each action is actually behaving like a pull towards the core, which is when you actually make money. And I wanted to kind of like add this because I've seen a trend where the more time I spend with the market, speaking to it, educating it, the more money I make. Before, it used to be that I could just create one VSL and explain what our service is. But unfortunately, these assets are either yours or they're your competitors' assets. Understand that. Keep this in mind. This can either be you or it can be strangers pulling people where? To their own world, to their own ecosystem. And trust me, they're not waiting for you to be like, oh, this is your lead, talk to them, sell them. No, 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 no. Everybody is pushing people to their own core. And whoever is the best at having enough essentially pull towards the center wins the deal. It doesn't matter how good they are at the product. It doesn't matter if their service is better than yours. It doesn't matter if they're better at sales than you. That has nothing to do with it. It is all about, is their attention going to your nucleus or is it going to someone else's core offerings and world and they own their attention? And the way that this should look like is really this way. Maybe you make a reel, right? Make one per day. Like, trust me. Don't, and by the way, you could be AI reel. I don't really care. I just want you every day to put something in the world that brings people back to your world. I want you to have it be an email. I want you to put out a little YouTube video. I want you guys to tweet. I want you guys to DM someone, DM a follower. I want you guys to send an SMS blast. I want you guys to write a Substack, right? If I go on Substack, what am I doing? Pulling people into what? My ecosystem. And I might also do what? Oh, I might do a workshop. Tomorrow I'm going to do a workshop. And by the way, these are not necessarily like, okay, selling. No, 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 no. It's not about selling. It's about demonstrating the discoveries you're making into making your prospects' lives better. By the way, what I'm doing right now is exactly that. The same way that I give you guys value is also the same way that I sell. And that's the most fascinating thing that I've noticed with the current world we live in is people don't want to be sold. People just want to be educated. And guess what? People have nothing else to do all day long than to consume value. Like guys, I'm online every day. Do you know the first thing I wake up? On X, scroll. Okay, what's the update in AI? Blah, blah. And to be honest, if someone drops a great product, I'm going to enter their ecosystem. I'm going to be like, huh, this is interesting. I'm not going to subscribe to their stuff. I'm just going to steal their feature and then we're going to reproduce it and cook. But whoever drops things and owns my attention, and it has to be valuable things, not just constant, just selling, 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 selling. And that's why if you guys start looking at even someone like Hormozy, oh my God, they're putting out quantity. I've never seen quantity like the ones that he's putting out right now, right? He's putting out 4 or 5 reels a day. He's putting out his own YouTube channel, which is here, every 5 days. But then you go on Hormozy highlights, he's putting out videos. Look at this, 23 hours, putting out 2, 3 mini long form value-based assets And you'd be surprised by how much money you can make by getting 1,000 people to see your thing, even 800. People used to be worried that, oh, but what if I get 400 views? It doesn't matter. When's the last time you talked to 400 people anyway, right? And then you go on his what is it? I forget what it is. What it was about. Oh yeah, yeah. If you go on his Instagram, he started doing these value-based reels, which is interesting. Um, let's see, Hormozy, where he's mainly driving super value-based, and he's going away from just things that go viral to things that lead to people saving it. So like here in this video, I'll play it so you guys can hear it with the audio.
The good, fast, cheap close. This is the mechanic close. This is the surgeon secretary close. This is the game plan close. And this is the both.
He's not making this so you can actually consume it. He's using it so he can drive saves, and then whoever saves is because like I said in the previous piece of content, TikTok figured out that saves is the closest, it has higher affinity to purchases and to people who buy than any other metric online. Likes, comments don't really matter. Even shares don't really matter because you tend to share memes. You don't really share. I don't share value. It's not like I'm going to send, oh, hey, look at this valuable thing. It can help your business. I don't really do that, but I might save it. I have a lot of things that I've saved. So if you guys look at all the content that he's not putting out, they're super lead magnet based. They're not about, oh, let's get attention, let's get attention. And it could be attention, uh, but it's a value. He's actually now going super deep, technical or tactical. And he's posting every 17 hours ago. This one was also 21 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So they're posting like four times a day. And it brings back to this thing. It's no longer just one channel is going to be enough, right? And of course, what I'm saying is not necessarily for you guys to like overwhelm yourselves in like, oh, you need to be on every platform. That's not the point. The point, though, is to open up your understanding and your expectations that when you get a lead, they're going to pay attention to you maybe for like 5 seconds, and then they're going to go pay someone attention to someone's reel. Make sure that that reel is yours. And then they're going to wake up and have a habit to check their email. They make sure your email is there too. And then they're going to go on YouTube. Make sure you have some assets there. Pull people back into your world. Tweet, DM, SMS, Substack, blah, blah, blah. And Substack, you guys don't need it. This is just, I just created it because I like to document stuff. I write a lot of emails, so I ended up just being annoyed that everything I've written over the last 5 years just essentially disappears. So I just started turning stuff that I want to document on the Substack. So if you guys want to do that, that's also valuable, right? So I would say that the most impactful stuff is probably have YouTube. I like YouTube because it's long form, people trust you. So I would say that this has a lot of energy. I would say that we're about to add cold email on Cook AI. So I mean, this is not, I didn't necessarily share it in the perspective of cold email, but we're about to have cold email. This can be either email outreach or have your newsletter so you won't nurture people as they come in. This is something that you have to be doing. If you guys have leads in your pipeline and you're still chasing for your next ad spend, but you have more than like 50, 100 leads in your email list, and you're still trying to go for a new lead, instead of reaching out to these people and say, hey, by the way, we're doing this new thing. It's cool. You should pay attention to it. A reel, free attention. Like, if you're not taking advantage of reels, I just personally don't know what you're doing. I used to not necessarily want to put out reels, but now it's kind of like started just putting out stuff every day, a few times a day, because I realized that it doesn't really matter how many people are seeing something. It just matters that how energy. Look at how many 91 saves. See, like this means that this post is probably good, right? 3,000 people reached, 40% of them don't follow me, 63% follow me, right? And 4 new followers. It's not anything crazy. And also, I'm still not the best on Reels because I don't do the hooks and things like that. I'm just don't waste a lot of time on there. And then one of probably the most powerful one is of them all. Get a group of people in a room, teach them, and give them a reason to buy right there and then. If I could, and then of course ads, right? Like ads is just the top of funnel where you have control, right? Either DM outreach or ads, they can kind of like work together, right? Which is where here, let's put it here. Ads is just like an amplifier, right? And the way that I personally like to think about it is that they all push the same thing. You create an ad, create a YouTube video about it, create an email about it, create a reel about it, create a workshop around it. It's not like you're having to create like, oh, you need to come up with new things, new things, new things every single time. It's more about understanding that it has to hit from different layers so that people can go back again and get closer. And if you do it really well, this is what probably should look like, is that people come into here and then they get like an email, which gets them a little closer, or maybe they see like a little reel, and then they see an email, right? And then the workshop, boom, right? And then a YouTube video reinforces the value. So it's this gets them closer, this gets them a bit closer, and this or a sales call, and then boom, right? So one thing that would probably be good for you guys is ask yourself, what is something that you can probably create and share it with your current list of leads, and then drive them back to the core of transacting with you. This is the only way I think that you fight against the noise of the online world. You literally have to create your own noise and overwhelm the market. There is no more top of funnel. I mean, there is top of funnel, but people are now like, it's a non-linear sales customer journey process. So that really drives them to here. So if you're wondering like, how do you convert people? Don't look at it as if it's a three-step process. Look at it as if it's multiple things that have to drive people back to. And the more assets, the more things you have, the faster people do business with you. And the most important one of them all, by the way, is answering this question. The number one reason why sales process end up taking super long is when you're not able to get someone to see like, why should they buy now? Why now? And in a typical process like this here, you don't have enough room to create urgency, because it's not like someone is going to get on a call with you and you're going to be like, hey, you have to buy now. You have to buy now. No, like that would be crazy, right? But if you answer a lot of their issues beforehand, and then they get on a call, then you have the choice to be like, hey, this is the offer you get right now if you decide to buy, but please do not waste my time, right? You get just like the way you would be surprised. And I think a lot of the time we tend to think that like, okay, someone who's an authority has just more aura or more like they have something that you don't. No, the fact what they have is more assets online than you. And the way they gain that authority is literally through value creation. I think a lot of people have this tendency to say that, oh, you can only be an authority if you figure it out and you have an amazing case study and made billions and zillions of dollars. But actually, that couldn't be further from the truth. That couldn't not be further from the truth. All that matters is show up online as someone who's curious, or literally share your curiosity, share the things you're learning. Nobody cares that you've made $1 billion. All people need is that you can show your reasoning and have people be like, okay, even if you haven't necessarily proven that you can make $100 million, what you're telling me actually makes sense. So I can actually trust you. And as soon as they trust you, boom. Because for me, it's like I was in the basement making videos on looms in 20. I mean, and this is where like a lot of people have a tendency to be like you have to start with proof, with millions. No, you start with nothing. You start with nothing. We all start with nothing. If I go on my page and I go on the oldest, look, 4 years in, it's still Google Docs, right? It's not, and you know, this video has 5,000, 6,000 views, but it's not like I was a billionaire. I was in the basement working. I went in this little room and it was closed so I can do content. And I got I mean, I have a computer at least and just talk. And once you talk, clip it up, go talk somewhere else. Go talk in the email, go talk somewhere else. And eventually people just start realizing like what the hell is this person doing? You know? And just dump, 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 dump. And then at some point it's just inevitable for you not to win, right? But yeah, it's now more impactful than ever to have assets out there. You could do the faceless things, that's fine. But guess what? Even the faceless things have to be present. Like, it's faceless for a reason, but it still exists, you know? But yeah, this is something that I'm personally actively putting into our business. I'm gonna be doing more content, doing more reels, doing more ads, and definitely doubling down on workshops and more everything. I mean, you guys will even feel it, and you guys can see just the amount of reps that I'm putting in, and should be the same as you. It shouldn't be any different, right? You want to create $500,000 a year. You can wait to do it in 12 months, but I'd rather do it in 2 to 4 weeks. Collapse time, and eventually in a week, and eventually in a day, you know? So, and here's where it always is super valuable. If you're currently just starting out, I would say go find businesses that don't know how to do any of this stuff. Because I promise you, you guys might be feeling pain of lacking momentum, more or less. But picture people who aren't on this call to understand the playbook to win in this new era. They're struggling. And just by coming in and saying, hey, you have a good service, you have a good product, let me just handle the noise. Just let me handle the noise. You keep spending your own same ads, you keep having the same people, blah, I don't really care. But let me control this year. I'll craft assets and distribute them for you. Just pay me for the setup and then pay me every month for the energy I bring into your company. And I think this is probably going to be the AI. This is going to be the agent arbitrage moment business model with 3.0, TriCook 3.0. I can probably picture everyone here using it to have agentic agents that have skills, right? Create all the skills that you need here. YouTube, you like, I mean, we're gonna create most of them for you guys and all that good stuff, right? And then you guys don't have to worry. We already did all the integration, generate video, generate image, research, social media, scrape every single platform. GHL, we're about to remove it. Meta ads, deploy sites, build forms, build calendars, build videos, right? More video models are coming out, so it's going to be amazing. You can spawn missions, and missions is literally just create agents that go on to do stuff without you doing anything. Create skills, I mean, AI is going to literally create its own skills, okay? Workflows, database, and Zapier, Make.com, Airtable, Discord, Slack, whatever, right? And you guys are just going to be able to just come on here and just say, hey, I want to do this, or I'm doing this for this client this week. Go on and get stuff done. And then, or if you want to, I was on a call yesterday. I want to show you guys this because this was really cool. This is coming, by the way, guys. But I just want to show you guys this experience that I witnessed yesterday. I'm going to probably rerun it. I want to show you guys how it worked. So now the workspace is essentially a centralized place for everything. Ads creation, content, web search, CRM, your Fathoms, your connector, whatever, this and that, da 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 da. Anything is literally going to be all in one place. And you'll just be able to essentially do control more here on the things you're doing. You're going to be able to just say, hey, I want you ads for this client. Here's the context. And it's just going to go do work, right? And it's going to create the actual asset. I want to show you guys if it actually does it. So Now the agent will just spin up a website and go find every lab that does zirconia crowns, things like this. It's going to study what their offerings are. So I did this with a client on a call. And then once this got enough insights, it just created this ad, right? And then look, I think it's creating a new ad. So boom, it just created this new ad, right? I think it didn't pull a different website because it already had this research done, right? And then here is this is literally the workflow of crafting things. It's tell it what you want, let it spin up things, and then boom, right? Or if you want to create, maybe let's try to see. Hey, do you have access to my ads? And can you launch a new campaign? I haven't connected ads here. Something, I think the connection on Meta is not yet, the API on the old flow is not connected properly, but every single thing that you need will be literally showing up here. It's just going to open up a window and do things on any, I guess, on any software that we have integrations with, right? Oops, I don't have my GHL account on this account. That's how much I kind of hate GHL. I don't go into it. I have my entire business there, but I try not to get lost in it. What else? What else can I share? AI voice agent is also something we've integrated. We've figured out how to build AI voice agents with literally a single prompt. So anybody who's currently, I know right now we have a process of like assistable, this and that, but we're really trying to remove friction completely. And I think we're a few weeks away. As TriClick AI 3.0 releases, we're probably going to be also adding the ability for you guys to literally say, hey, I have this roofing client, create me a voice agent for their account or their workspace. And it's literally just going to spin up their voice agent. Now I saw a demo of cold email in 3 clicks, I would say. I can show you guys. And the beautiful thing too about Cook is that because it has all these agents, you could technically just say, yo, go scrape leads for my campaign. And then an agent is gonna go and scrape leads for your outreach or whatever. Like we discovered this, I think we discovered this the other day where we were trying to do a mission on Cook, and we were like, hey, we want to do cold outreach on in Facebook groups, and the agent couldn't go and access Facebook. So what it did instead is it said, hey, unfortunately, I couldn't complete this mission, but then it was for a dog training offer. So what it did is it went on Google, found like a license or registration of old dog trainers and scraped all their details, their Facebook profile, and created that list to be used instead of the Facebook group. But then we went ahead and just found an API to access Facebook and scrape Facebook. Cool. Yeah, let's cook. Take care, guys. Thank you for jumping on. Bye bye.